folks? Welcome back. This is DIY Chopped, American Model Madness, and we're back again. On that last video, we had another failure, which I think is the SD card failure. And I switched the SD card out, and we're going to continue this Gravedigger project. I'm telling you, this thing is looking great, and it's so great for you guys to be with us. So right here, let's go ahead and flip this thing down a little bit so you guys can see what we're doing. And after the device failed, I immediately stopped and switched the SD card out. So I haven't done anything more. But just to give you a update on what we're talking about, in case you missed it, you know, I've heard, and I also got some YouTube videos. I'm trying to post those on my YouTube link, you know, with this particular, but I hope I can, because it's an awesome video. And what we're doing right now is we're actually cutting across the body line. So in case those folks that don't know, we're taking this back top off. But you can take a blade, and they actually got a blade that you can actually cut the plastic parts, these model fenders and tops and T-tops and sunroofs, and I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with that wood burner. And hopefully I'm going to have that linked as soon as I figure out how to link it to you. And it makes it a lot easier. I mean, that thing looks like it cuts like butter. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this right up to right before where we cut before. Now you want to be careful back here, because you don't want to tear up this edge right here. Right here. So you want to pay close attention to that. But you want to cut this straight. And it's binding up my saw. Boy, this thing really wants to beat. Now, you're going to run into this issue where it will bind up the blade. And the reason why is because the part's actually twisting when you're cutting. It's actually warping itself. So, now if you would have cut the other side in the previous video, if you cut the cut from the top all the way around to the fender body line, and then you'd be doing this thing here would be flip-flopping all over the place, and you would end up breaking and splitting the part right here, and it would actually damage the door and possibly snap off the post that you're actually trying to make. So this is, you got to be very careful. Let the saw do the work. That's the most important thing I can tell you. Later on, what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to trim this. So, and I'm hoping that I can get this thing where I need it, because I'm right up against the body line. That's the reason why we do a 1/16 of an inch grace. So again, you don't want to go all the way. You want to keep it just a little bit, okay? And you guys see that right there? Let me take my, you can probably see it better that way. Okay, this is basically the cut that we just did right here. That little white piece that you see is what we didn't cut. Right here is where the cut stops. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our X-Acto blade knife or carpet cutter and just stick it in there like that and just kind of rock it. Put a little bit of pressure and rock it just like this. And this might take a little bit, but you want to, it will cut it if you got a good cut sharp blade. Just a little bit of pressure and rock it. Now most people will be in a position where they'll sit there and they'll put a lot of pressure on it. Injuries happen when you do that. This ain't worth getting stitches. Okay? And then take it and just rock it, and you want to meet the corner. And it basically will snap right off. Now most people will actually bend this. Don't bend it. Bend it, you'll put a nub on it. Do the same thing over here, just light pressure. A little bit. A little light pressure. A little bit. It'll come right off. And there you go. Here we go. Wow. Now, is that cool or what? Now you can take your pieces off, and you're going to see that body line right there. That's what we want to keep. That's that body line we've been wanting to keep. Now what we'll do is we'll actually trim that off, and we'll make it smooth, contour with the truck, and it will look awesome when we get done. Now we might even do a little bit of a side, put a flat side piece on it or something, to kind of indicate like bed sides on a real truck. We're going to do all kinds of things with this model, because that's just what we do. DIY top. Well, we're going to get crazy. Yes, we are. Now, just to give you a little visual on what it's going to look like when it's on the chassis, that's what it's going to look like. Now, that looks pretty doggone good. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some comments on that. Now, what do you guys think of this? Isn't this going to be awesome? Now, we can't do much with this with the frame right now because the frame is still wet. And I may be doing this on our next video where I'll have to paint it up off video and basically present it to you guys. But I'm going to try to paint the rest of this here because we do got some time. And again, just also to let you know, we're also going to paint the engine. We got the engine already started up. A little bit of engine, Chevy engine red on there. We detailed the distributor cap. But this is going to be awesome. I'm telling you. I'm so glad that my friend here sent me that challenge, because this is a challenge that I'm having fun with. So basically, again, don't stick your paint all the way down into your bottle. You just want just a tip, just a tip of it like that. Now with Chromoly, it does go on fairly well, but when it dries, it has a tendency to kind of go transparent. So don't trust your paint, and I say this and generally with most paints. I mean, it may look good with the first coat, and then after you let it sit a while, it actually lightens up and it becomes where you got to put a second coat on. I know I got a lot of comments on that, and the reason why is because the enamel, part of the enamel actually will evaporate. So, and when it does that, it thins the paint out. I'm just going to go ahead and usually your first coat, as long as you don't have a lot of brush strokes in it, try to keep your brush strokes to a minimum. If you do get a lot of brush strokes, you can always add a little bit of thinner, and the thinner will actually and just rub it with your paintbrush. So that way you agitate the paint, and a lot of times your brush strokes will actually just disappear. You can blend them out. Add a little bit of thinner here and there. It actually gives kind of a little bit of thickness on your brush. So you want to keep your paintbrush very, very wet when you're doing that. Then you want to watch for gum, for paint gumming up. And I'm pretty sure in an episode we'll have that problem, and I will show you a technique on how to avoid that. But this is such a fun project. It is so fun. It's a great challenge. I literally had to look at this model, study the instruction book, and it's like, how am I going to do this? This guy's got me scrambled. And I just basically just stared at the model until I figured it out. And voila, here we are doing it. And I got all kinds of ideas I'm going to do with this truck. I'm actually going to go out and purchase more of these trucks in the future, and doing multiple trucks. And one of the things that I would like to try, and this is one of my ideas, is switching bodies out. I got another truck body or another truck kit that I'm working on, and I was just looking at the table. I was actually cleaning my table off and organizing my tools and stuff, and I stuck that truck body on top of the Gravedigger chassis, the one I'm painting right now, without the Gravedigger body on it, just to get it out of the way. And I was like, man, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to try that. So I'm going to buy an older model GMC, or I think it's a 70s. I'm not sure what year it is. But it looked really cool. So maybe cut out the fenders a little bit. Make the so that way the big tires could be underneath it. I'm going to try to keep this down to about 15-20 minutes. So that way, but just kind of give you, just kind of, give a quick reply on all of it here, and then we're going to end this video. I'm going to go ahead and do some messaging boards with you here real quick on, some emails that have come in, and some future projects that we're working on, that we will be working on. As you guys can tell, this is time consuming, and this is only the first coat. But when you do your finishing coat, the finishing coat's what's going to take 99.9% of your consumption of time. And I'm going to do that actually off camera, so that way I'm not boring you. But so there we go. I think we got basically that part of it done, and that's the part we're working on. And that's a pretty slick looking model. So we're going to go ahead and Stick this over here and find a dry spot for it. Stick it right there. Let that thing sit and dry real good. That's only one coat. That's going to get about 4 coats, give or take, maybe 5, because it's not completely cured out. But get my wide angle for y'all here. There we go. That way you can see me real good. Now our next one of the projects that we got also going on is, and we're going to be jumping on the Jeep project. That is coming to you for the lift kit. We also have this one right here, which we're also going to be doing a series on, and that's going to be done here shortly coming up. Where we're actually going to chop the back of the cab. We're going to cut the back of the panel here, and we're going to re-glue that panel inside here to make this a single cab. It's just a regular cab. And then on the back of it, we're possibly going to do a flatbed with boxes or a utility truck. This is one of our challenges. I'm telling you, this one here is going to be of high interest for a lot of our viewers, and it's a challenge that was actually emailed to us. We also got a Mack truck, which I do have a rolling chassis. I'm having some problematics with the chassis right now, but and that's this one here. That's basically what I got done, and it's got some good, nice detail in it. I don't know if y'all can see the pearlescent blue that's in that black. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that just sweet? You can see the pearlescent blue in it. The light hits it. It's got a blue tint to it. Really, really neat. But if you look at it in regular daylight, it's flat black. It's really cool. But we're actually going to be doing a symbol on that and a little bit of detail work, and we're going to make it a dump truck. I'm telling you, all kinds of different things we're going to be doing. Biggest thing that I want to jump at is, I got an email from a guy out in Phoenix, Arizona, which asked me a question. He's got these semi-truck models, and he builds them. They look great. He sticks them on the shelf, and about a month later, the front of the semi-truck actually squats. Okay. Now, and I'm just going to use my cab over here, and I do know this to be a problem, because I've had this problem. When I would build these models, I build them in a garage, and I also build them in a shed. And if anybody knows anything about shed, it gets hot. Basically what happens is when the model actually sits, the weight of the model and the heat softens the plastic right here. Now what I do is, unless you're sewing the model, if you're sewing the model, if it's a sew piece or if it's just a self piece, basically what I do is I take plexiglass, such as these right, just real thin plexiglass, and I'll cut them in little strips, and I will place them across the center of that beam, and then I will basically cut them, and I'll stack them on top of each other, so that way the tires are just a hair off the shelf. The same thing, you can do it on the back. I like to support the model, but you can also basically take a piece of plexiglass, rest it underneath here like this, cut 2 pieces, cut yourself a piece that's as wide as the truck. The inside of the truck, a little bit of model glue, and glue it right on there. And we're going to reveal this particular problem in future series. Trust me, in heat, brother, you need air conditioning. That's what you need. Trust me. But that's the best way how to fix that problem. Another question that I also want to comment on is about airplanes. Okay, we had some requests about airplanes. Airplanes, I don't have a place to hang them. And airplanes, I love airplanes. There is a few airplanes that I will do. Ships, that's another really good one too. ships, certain ships that we will be doing. You know, to kind of a walkthrough detailing battlefield shipping, boats, speed boats, bass boats, and trailers. We are going to be doing those. So, but you know, just stay tuned. Hit that like, hit that share. Please comment below and subscribe. Share it with all your friends. And stay tuned because we're going to have another build coming up. Another video will be posted here shortly. So, but thank you very much. And just remember this. Keep having fun, my friend. Because this is what it's all about, having fun. Stay tuned. Because we got more American Model Madness here, DIY, chopped, coming your direction. Thank you for watching.